So that's just over 3 grand. I mean, not too bad. Today, the 28th, 29th of April, 2026, we did just over 3 grand in the space of an hour. Hello there, Joshua here. I hope all is well with you. And in this video, we are going to be looking at a very basic strategy that myself and my students are using to earn a considerable income from trading. How anyone actually that has a level of desire, if you've got a desire for freedom or a desire to have more income, then you can effectively use this because it's really basic. I mean, I've said it before. I think anyone that is, not even the sharpest tools in in the box will struggle with this. I mean, if you can just identify a candle every morning, just like you can identify a shape or a rectangle or a square, and just use that and trade towards a purple line, then you're good to go. So let's quickly go through it. Mechanical trading is a rigid criteria that we use to get into trades. So we're not making any discretionary decisions. We're not using our brain necessarily to think about what's going to happen. We already determine what's going to happen before we come to the market. And when we do come to the market, we're just waiting for that thing to happen. If that thing doesn't happen, then we are not trading. So what is that thing? Every morning, let's do it together. Every morning at 6:45 on the German 40 index, we are waiting for what we call the pointing candle. All right. Now, when we see that candle, we are going to trade towards the purple line. What is the purple line? The purple line is a concept that I call magneto. Magneto is this purple line. It has a magnetic force. We imagine that this purple line has a really strong magnetic force. And over the last 7 years, I've noticed that price seems to move towards this purple line. Hence why we assume that it's got some sort of magnetic pull. Now, that being said, all you need to do is figure out where is the purple line, where is magneto. And if you want to know how to identify magneto, obviously we can go into a little bit more depth within the program. I do cover that as a concept, and my students are using it to, like I said, earn a really, really consistent structured income, and of course build what we call freedom. For some people, it's about having more money. So like I said earlier on, let's quickly cover what students are doing in the group. I have a small group of students that I work with, all based in the UK, and we all trade these mechanical rules. So this is from today, 29th of April, 2026. And Jeff says, so got in this morning based on the candle, followed the magneto rules, came home at lunchtime and saw it went straight into profit, and he's posted his trade here. So boom, 3%, 3R. If you've got 100 grand to trade with, 3% is £3,000 or $3,000. Now that begs the question: have you got 100,000 to trade with, or are you using your own hard-earned money? So don't worry, you don't need to do that. There are companies like FTMO who want to work with the best of the best traders, and they will give you 100 grand to trade with. And all you have to do is prove to them that you have the skills. Prove to them that you can grow their capital by 10% or 5% on a demo account, and then they will trust you with a real account. That's how we do it. That's how we earn an income taking 3% trades like the one we did today every morning. That's how Matthew was able to get 280 grand worth of funding with FTMO. That's how Michael, I think his name, Michael was able to do the same thing. Also passed his verification in February with FTMO. So this is how my students are able to get their hands on hundreds, six-figure accounts, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of capital without risking any of their own hard-earned money. They have my mechanical rules, they apply them, they get funded, they get freedom. As I mentioned, FTMO is the place to be if you want a company that you can trade with and make good money without risking your hard earned money. You pass their evaluation by growing their demo account by at least 10%. And once you demonstrate to them that you are a disciplined and consistent trader with a set of mechanical rules, for example, then they will trust you and give you capital to trade with. Once you get your hands on 100 grand, you do one of the trades that we did this morning, and that's 3 grand. 3, 4, 5% a month, and you could live off that. Most people could live off that in the UK. So yeah, there's not much else to it. It's pretty boring. I'll tell you that. It is a pretty boring strategy. Nothing fancy. No no fair value gaps. No Fibonacci levels. We're just literally waiting for the pointing candle. We get in, we see it, great, all right, off we go. And we just set and forget. It's a set and forget model. You wake up, you look for a candle, you press buy or sell. And yeah, in this case, today, we did just over 3 grand. Hope that helps. By the way, once again, if you are interested in learning a little bit more about the strategy, I'm happy to help. And yeah, we can have a face-to-face chat. I'd be happy to discuss things with you. It is a very basic approach to trading. So I think anyone who's just got the desire, most importantly, you must have a burning desire for freedom, for wanting to achieve more than what you have right now. If you're content and you don't really care, then obviously you can just sort of stay where you're at. But if you're at a stage where you're thinking, all right, what else is there? What does the next level look like? Can I do more? I know I'm doing this, but can I do more? This is for you. This is for those people who are just wanting more. You want more something. Could be more freedom, more time. Whatever that is, trading can be the vehicle to get you there. Especially mechanical trading. So yeah, I'll leave the door open. If you want to have a chat, reach out and we can go from there.